Hey there, I'm Frank Mitchell. On this channel, it's all about helping you understand your car and keeping it running the way it should. Whether it's routine maintenance or solving those tricky problems, I've got you covered. If you find this useful, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to watch till the end. You might learn something that saves you time and money. All right, let's get started.
Today we are going to analyze three models. We are talking about the Dacia Sandero, the Renault Clio, the 4th generation, and the SEAT Ibiza. All of them are very different from each other, but they share a common feature. They are the three best-selling cars in the category. These three cars alone account for 32% of the total number of cars sold in the category. We analyze, below, each of the sections in which each car stands out. The Dacia Sandero, the best-selling and cheapest urban car. Starting with sales, here we see that the Dacia Sandero occupies the first position in the ranking. A first place that, moreover, gets without any regard. Among other things because the second place, the Renault Clio, is located at a great distance. And the same goes for the SEAT Ibiza, which also occupies third place, far behind the Sandero. Among the keys to the Sandero's sales success, the first that comes to mind, of course, is the price. And is that the Sandero is the cheapest model that exists in Spain. There is no other rival that can beat him, and the access price is just over 7,000 euros, a figure, yes, which corresponds to a version that does not have, if you want, air conditioning as an option. Even so, a Sandero more equipped is approximately 9,000 euros, a figure that must be recognized that is accessible. As for the other two competitors, here we see that the price is already more reasonably matched. In this sense, both the SEAT Ibiza and the Renault Clio start at approximately 14,000 euros. The Sandero, with a more country-style version. Looking at the range of these three models, there is in our opinion another detail that differentiates them. And this is none other than that the Sandero is offered with the stepway version. This is a variant that introduces slight tweaks, mainly aesthetic, to bring the Sandero closer to the fashion of SUVs. That is, this Sandero stepway has nothing to do with an SUV or a crossover, but it must be recognized that Renault has been smart in this regard to allow the Sandero to offer a more attractive variant for its buyers. On the other hand, neither SEAT with the Ibiza nor Renault with the Clio have an off-road version. Clio and Sandero, the most veteran. This is another aspect that should be taken into account when buying a car. Among other things, because nobody likes it when, as soon as you buy your brand new model, the brand says that there is a new generation already in the dealerships, making yours outdated and devalued. And in this regard, we have to point out that both the Renault Clio and the Sandero are among the oldest in the category. Both models were introduced between 2012 and 2013 and renewed between 2016 and 2017. For its part, the SEAT Ibiza was introduced only a couple of years ago, around 2017. This is important because it is worth knowing that while the Ibiza still has a long commercial run left, with an update probably in 2021 and a new generation around 2024, both the Clio and Sandero have their next replacements on the doorstep. In this sense, the first to arrive is the Renault Clio, which, in fact, is already practically in the dealerships, since it has already been presented to the press and there are already sales prices. Even so, it is likely that there are still some units in stock of the previous Clio, the 4th generation, with those of the new Clio, which is now starting to be sold. Roominess, the Sandero wins, the Clio is the smallest. We continue with the next section. It is about the dimensions of the vehicle and the habitability. Starting with the dimensions, we find that all three vehicles are around 4.05 meters long. That is, in this section, there are no major differences. However, if we look at another measure, such as height, here we do find some difference. Among other things because the Sandero is the tallest model of them all. And this will result in that its habitability will be greater than that of the Ibiza and, above all, that of the Clio. Thus, the Sandero has the largest space between the bench and the roof. In addition, it also has a good width, similar to that of the Ibiza. On the other hand, Renault has the smallest cabin of the three. Trunk wins the Ibiza. As for the trunk, the Sandero, which was the one with the best habitability, cannot, however, with the SEAT Ibiza, which is the leader in this section with 355 liters. The Dacia model offers a cargo capacity of 320 liters. And third place goes to the Renault Clio, which in the fourth generation offers 300 liters for cargo. Engines, fuel consumption, and emissions. It is time to analyze the range of engines, consumption, and emissions. And here the truth is that we have to recognize that the three firms do a great job in this regard. Among other things because the three cars have efficient consumption due to the engines and also to its condition of small and light car. In this sense, although in the category, most users opt for gasoline engines, all three models have gasoline and diesel engines. And, in addition, both the Sandero and the Ibiza have gas versions. However, in the Dacia Sandero, the available option is based on LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, technology, while in the SEAT we are talking about CNG, compressed natural gas. They are two different fuels, although we have to point out that LPG is more established in Spain in terms of number of pumps. The incorporation of these LPG and CNG fuels allows both Dacia, with the Sandero, and SEAT, with the Ibiza, to obtain the ECO label, an environmental badge that allows access to restricted traffic zones in large cities. Safety, the Clio wins, despite its age. As for the safety section and always taking into account the values given by Euro NCAP, it should be noted that the safest model is the Renault Clio, a feature that is surprising since it is one of the oldest cars on the market. However, despite this, Renault obtains the best score of the three. In second place is the SEAT Ibiza, also with 5 stars from Euro NCAP, the highest score. And finally, we have the Dacia Sandero, with 4 stars. Conclusion. If the first reason to buy is price, there is no doubt. The Dacia Sandero is unbeatable. In fact, from here we recommend that you do not look at more options since in this section the Dacia Sandero is number 1. In addition, it is the most spacious of the three. However, if you can spend a little more money, about 3,000 euros more, then both the SEAT Ibiza and the Renault Clio are two options to consider. The SEAT Ibiza stands out for its performance, the quality of the finishes, and its dynamism. And the Renault Clio, while waiting to see how the new generation turns out, stands out for its safety and the relationship between quality and price. For the moment you can configure the SEAT Ibiza and the Renault Clio on the CarWow website and enjoy our great offers. Which one do you like best? In conclusion, choosing between the SEAT Ibiza, Dacia Sandero, and Renault Clio ultimately depends on your personal preferences and priorities. The SEAT Ibiza stands out with its sporty design and engaging driving experience, making it a great choice for those who value performance. The Dacia Sandero offers exceptional value for money, providing practicality and reliability without breaking the bank. Meanwhile, the Renault Clio impresses with its stylish interior and advanced technology features, appealing to those who seek a modern driving experience. Each of these cars has its unique strengths, so consider what matters most to you before making your decision. Thank you for watching, and we hope this comparison has helped you find the right car for your needs.